Hello, welcome back to Outdoor Exploration. This is our Friday chicken and garden update, and we're going to also show you how to use nipplewort today, which you probably have growing just out of the sidewalk near your house, if not in your garden. So we don't know who this is since nobody has any names, but I've been carrying her around, and so has Rhiannon, because for some reason she doesn't want to get up today. It's one of our Jersey giants, as you can see from her very feathery legs. And I don't know if she just ate too much too quickly, but she just does this. So we're holding her for now, and we'll see how things go. And I guess I'll nest her into her nesting box so we can do this video, but yeah. Don't know what's up with her, but we'll see. I wanted to show you this thing that Rhiannon made today. It's chicken entertainment. No, you're not going out, okay, little one? Don't go out. Thanks. It's all right. That's all right. So the chickens, are you all right? Shoo. Okay, be careful. If you want to get down, you can. I'm just going to put her into the coop and see if that helps. So I've nestled her in there, and this thing Rhiannon built for the chickens because they like to jump at the plants, the taller plants, when they're outside, and so she thought maybe this will entertain them. They can pull some things out. She basically took a pot and cut bigger holes out of the bottom and made these plants so they're hanging out, and so far nobody has noticed it, but we'll see what happens with that. So, not a whole lot interesting to say about the chickens today, other than the kids built them this kind of walkway from their coop to the little temporary run that they have out there. I guess you can come through here. So they're enjoying this. Excuse me, everybody. We have these chairs out here so we can sit with them. And I have to fold them up, otherwise they jump on and poop all over them. And this way they can go sit out in the sun and have their dust baths and whatever. That's pretty much it. We do have still a little bit of a problem with the prolapsed vents. It seems to happen quite regularly. So in fact, there's a bowl right over there from where we were just this afternoon pushing someone's little uterus back in. I hope that as they grow, the uteri, whatever you say, will get big enough that they'll stop coming out every time they poop, but we'll see what happens. So you can have a look at some chickens if you like. Hi. It's nice that so many of their little personalities are emerging. Some of these brown ones, and I'm never sure which ones, like to be petted. Is it you? Yeah, maybe? You're the sort of petting one? That one, it's a splash Americana with the white and gray parts. It's really friendly, likes to sit with us. And the big one, who was here a moment ago and ran away, is still the kind of mother hen of everybody. Well, we don't know if it's a hen or a rooster, but anyway, it goes around breaking up the fights, as it's been doing since it was tiny, although it was always bigger than the rest. So, not a whole lot to say, other than they're almost 6 weeks old, and they're about to get switched over to their grower pellets instead of the chick pellets that they're, or not pellets, mash that they're having right now. And yeah, that's it. So let me take you to the garden and show you nipplewort. So I came here ostensibly to harvest some nipplewort, but I ended up picking some kale too. Basically what I've done, oh gross, kale with some bird poop in it. What I've done in our garden was chuck a whole bunch of kale seeds just over this area last February or something like that, so that we've been able to have kale all spring. And I'm just taking it out in chunks as we eat it, and as the other things need space to grow. But I brought you here to this corner of our garden to show a few of the weeds. Partly because my Aunt Liz was asking what one of these weeds was in the previous video where I was showing the loofah plants. So if you look here, we have, just to clarify what the veggies are versus the weeds which are beneficial and going to carry on living here. This is the kale, obviously, all this stuff growing around slowly being eaten by me. This is a small zucchini that's already setting flowers, which I'm not too happy about actually, so I'll take them off and hope that it puts out a little more into its leaves first. This is a turnip. These are just some bachelor's buttons. I thought that would be nice to have them there. This is a tomato. And what else for veggies? Oh, there's a corn down here. So hopefully this will just be the edge of the corn bed where we have a few little things around the side. And then the loofah back there out of your view at the moment. But along with this, we have a whole bunch of interesting and mostly edible weeds. So this over here, if you can see, is shepherd's purse. And it's a mustard family. It's called shepherd's purse because of the little seeds that it has. The seed pods look like little triangular purses, basically, full of seeds. And it has the same peppery flavor that like bittercress and other mustards have. Well, slightly different, but also similar. And you can eat it in salads and whatever you like. These here, well, maybe first I should show you the jewel weed. In fact, I will pull this one up because jewel weed is one of the things that, while it doesn't cause a huge amount of problem, there's just a lot of it. It takes over everywhere. Sometimes they have purpley stems, but quite often they have these sort of 3 spots. They're not terribly dark or striking, but they do have these 3 spots, and as they get older, sometimes the spots are more obvious. And they can get to be quite big plants, actually, with reddish stems, and eventually they get little pink jewel-like flowers on the ends. Like they look like a little cluster of grapes or something, but a palish bright pink. Yeah, that's jewelweed. And then on top of that, we have both white clover and sorrel in here. So the white clover, like all clovers, it has 3 leaves. These actually have a little bit of a dip in the end, making them look a bit divided or heart-shaped, but not totally. And mostly you can tell the difference between the clover and the sorrel by the fact that the sorrel really have heart-shaped leaves. So each leaf cluster is a set of 3 heart-shaped leaves. And clovers have more teardrop-shaped leaves. Both are edible. The sorrel, actually, you can see it has a little yellow flower. This one is just the bud, but eventually they have these sweet little yellow flowers that open up. And chickens love them, now we know. Yeah, so that's that. I'm sure there's others. Oh, and I'm totally forgetting nipplewort. So if you look here, these are some young nipplewort, and they are so ubiquitous. They're just everywhere, all over, you know, sidewalks in the city, wherever you go, pretty much you're going to find nipplewort in open areas, including gardens, of course. And right now they look like this. I'll pull this one up just to show you. It doesn't look like much, and when they're younger, they might just look like, you know, a whole lot of these, just this much of it, all over your garden. And then I will take you over to some that are blooming because that makes it more obvious. So, let's see. Come this way. Follow me. It's been pouring rain this week. Look at our squashes. They're so happy right here. Check out those gigantic squashes. I swear they're like 2 or 3 times the size they were last week. Anyway, and here is the older nipplewort. So you see it's an aster, and it has these very dandelion-like flowers on it, which are starting to close right now because it's getting to be close to dinner time. But that's weird. Not dinner time, of course. This plant doesn't know it's dinner time because the sun's getting further away. And anyway, the leaves are edible, and you can treat them kind of like spinach or kale, I guess. Maybe more like kale. You can eat them raw, of course. They're kind of a little bit hairy. Like I wouldn't say super hairy like a foxglove or anything, but a little bit. And they're a little bit bitter. So personally, I don't like them very much in salad. I guess they have a bit of a flavor like the hard end of the lettuce leaf or dandelion leaves, which are totally edible, but I just don't enjoy that much bitterness in my salad. So what I do is pick just the leaves, generally the younger ones, and put them in like an omelette or a quiche, or why do those all have eggs in them? Potato salad, they're awesome in potato salad. You just quickly braise them up and throw them in with whatever other veggies, or none, just potatoes and these and a dressing. It's delicious. And hey, I've inspired myself for dinner. Yeah, so I'm just going to pick a basket of these, and we'll get back to you in a minute. So I had been mentioning the rain we've been having and all those squash growing earlier, and I thought, since Marcus is pruning his apple tree at the moment, I'd tell you why. This also is because of the rain, and see, all the leaves are having this leaf curl. We have figured out, there are no insects in them or anything, that it's scab, which we often get here in the fall, and it usually affects either the trunks of the trees or the apples themselves, and they'll have these like brown, they look like scabs on them. But now it's just been such a wet year while these leaves are trying to grow that they're covered in scab already. So, and then it stunts the growth, and see that the poor leaf is trying to grow, but it has all this fungus basically impregnating it there. So the solution is to cut all of the affected leaves off and burn them before it spreads to the other leaves, because eventually it could kill the tree and also take all the apples away. And we do have some somewhere. I know we have apples. Oh, here are some. Yeah, a whole bunch on this tree. So it would be nice if we can save them and still get a good crop and have a healthy tree. And yeah, so thanks for all the apple tree saving, Marcus. Back to picking my nipplewort. I don't know if I mentioned, but the reason nipplewort is called nipplewort is because it's great as a poultice for cracked, sore nipples, both in animals like goats or cattle and in humans. So if you are in need, there you go. Also, the reason I use baskets to harvest isn't really because it's quaint and beautiful, although it is, but it's because I check them pretty well for bugs as I'm picking them, but in case I miss some, the bugs kind of fall out the bottom, hopefully. So that's why. Yeah. I think I might be done. It looks like I have a lot here, but it's not really a lot considering we're a family of 4 and this cooks down like kale or spinach. So. Oh, a moth. Oh, how beautiful. Anyway, before I finish today, I would like to show you one last, maybe one of my absolute favorite garden weeds, red clover. So, all around me here is the red clover and the bees who love it. Red clover is a nitrogen fixer, so it's a fabulous thing to have growing in your garden, between your potatoes, everywhere you want to help add to your soil. It's a little different than the white clover I showed you because it's generally bigger. Although I should say there are white red clovers, meaning red clover species that blooms white. But the red clover species has these bigger flowers and with quite often this like a lighter V shape on the leaves. It's an anti-inflammatory. People use it for tea, so you can harvest it for tea if you like. But honestly, the very best thing and one of my favorite things to do since childhood is to just eat the nectar. Now it's been raining, like I said. There's a lot of water in these, but hopefully there's still some nectar. It's like honey. It's so good. You basically really carefully, very slowly pull the petals out, or the individual flowers I should say, out, and you just bite the end of them, and that's where the nectar is. It's just like, oh, like those honey sticks we used to get. I guess people probably still do. I mean, you can eat the whole flowers, but the nectar is just in the bottom where it attaches. Yum. So I guess that's it for today. I enjoyed eating clovers with you, and I hope to see you next week. Happy exploring.